And now, live from Christiansburg, Virginia, it's God Squad Live.
Hello and welcome to God Squad Live. I'm Caleb.
I'm Elijah. And I'm Steven.
Each week we will bring you the latest stories about what God is doing.
Today we are going to be talking about how Jesus healed a man who was blind. But first, let's go live to our scripture bros who are going to help us think about what it would be like to be blind.
Hello, boys and girls. Have you ever thought of what it would be like to be blind? There's a lot of things we take for granted these days, especially being able to see.
To help us illustrate that, let's call in Nathaniel and see what happens.
Nathaniel!
Hey guys, you need help with work? Hey, I can't see. Everything's so dark. Who's in here? Where am I? I'm having an emotional crisis.
A person who can't see might end up tripping over things that are on the floor.
A person who cannot see might run into things.
Is there a wall over here?
No.
Alright, thanks.
Yes.
A person who is blind can't always tell who's in the room with them.
Hey God Squad.
We're the scripture bros.
Oh, sorry. I knew that. Bye Luke, bye Josiah.
I'm Luke.
I'm Josiah. Boys and girls, you may want to try to go walk around your house in the dark with your eyes closed. See if you can do it. Then imagine you're somewhere you're not familiar with.
You hear that back there?
Let me in! There's a door here!
I'm guessing not familiar with his surroundings.
As you can see, it can be pretty scary to be blind and not able to see. Imagine being blind back in Jesus' time when we didn't even have all the technology advancements that we have today.
Joining us here in the studio is the man who was healed. He was blind, but Jesus made him see.
Yes, let's welcome him. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks. It's an honor to be here, and there's so many colors.
We hear that you had quite an experience. Tell us, were you blind from birth, or did you get a sickness or an accident happened?
I was born blind.
Were you blind because of your sin or because of your parents' sin?
No, none of those actually. It was, Jesus told me it was so he could heal me and show so many people his glory and power.
Tell us what happened on that day you got your sight back.
Sure. So it was the Sabbath, and I was just sitting and doing things I usually do on the Sabbath. Not much. And so Jesus was walking with some of the disciples, and he noticed me.
Did Jesus just say, let him see and you could see?
No, actually, he spit on the ground and made mud. Then he picked it up and spread it over my eyes, then told me to go in the pool to be healed.
Wow, so is that what you did?
Yes, sirree. It was so amazing to see all the people and animals and what they looked like, and all the colors, and looking into the water and seeing my own reflection.
Then what happened?
I went to see my neighbors, and they took me to the religious leaders.
Were they pretty happy that you had been healed?
Yeah. No, not at all. They were mad that Jesus chose to heal me on the Sabbath and said, Jesus can't heal someone on the Sabbath.
Wow, that's crazy. What did they do?
Then they ended up interviewing my parents.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
Wow, did you realize who Jesus was?
Not at first, but I ended up really realizing he was the Messiah.
Well, thank you for coming in to share your story with us today.
Thank you. I've never seen so many colors in one room. Doesn't get much better than this.
Well, we have one more guest today. We thought it would be fun to give equal time to the religious leaders, so we have one here with us now. Thanks for joining us, sir.
What do you want? What do you want?
Calm down.
Well, sir, we are talking today about how Jesus healed a blind man. Isn't that great?
It's ridiculous. Doesn't he know you can't just go around healing people on the Sabbath?
But a man who had never been able to see before could see after all those years.
He shouldn't have been healing on the Sabbath. I'm still mad about that.
What did you do on that day?
Well, we interviewed the man, then we interviewed his parents. He had no business being healed on that day.
Anything else you want to share with us today?
We're out of here. I'm so angry.
Well, you never know what is going to happen these days.
I think that is all the time we have for today.
Join us next time when we hear about Jesus and the Sermon on the Mount.
Goodbye!